Throughout human history, the allure of predicting the future has captivated cultures and eras alike. Among the most renowned visionaries are Nostradamus, the French astrologer and physician, and Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian mystic. Both left behind cryptic yet intriguing predictions about humanity's fate, some shockingly accurate, others sparking endless debate. As we approach 2025, their forewarnings seem eerily relevant once more. Before we dive into their prophecies and what they might mean for us, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support not only helps us grow but also fosters fascinating discussions around these chilling revelations. Trust me, you'll want to stay until the end. What we uncover might just change the way you see the world. Are you ready to unravel the mysteries of these predictions? Let's begin. Baba Vanga's most alarming prophecy for 2025 centers around a potential extinction-level event. According to her, escalating conflicts in Europe could set off catastrophic consequences, ultimately leading to a significant loss of life. She believed that these events would spiral out of control, causing widespread devastation and potentially bringing humanity to the brink of extinction. As we look around the world today, her prediction resonates with an unsettling degree of relevance, particularly when considering the ongoing tensions between Russia and Ukraine. The war, which has already taken thousands of lives and displaced millions, continues to escalate, with no clear resolution in sight. The situation between Russia and Ukraine is only one of many global flashpoints. If this conflict continues to intensify, there's a very real possibility that it could spread to neighboring countries, triggering broader instability across Europe. With global powers involved in supporting various sides, the potential for wider geopolitical ramifications grows by the day. It is not hard to imagine a situation where these tensions could boil over into something far worse, igniting conflicts that could engulf entire regions. This sense of uncertainty surrounding international relations has been a defining feature of the 21st century, and Baba Vanga's prediction seems to mirror this ongoing global fragility. However, the story of extinction-level events is not just about wars or conflicts. It also involves the broader question of human resilience in the face of calamity. History has repeatedly demonstrated how a seemingly isolated incident, when left unchecked, can quickly snowball into a global crisis. Take, for example, the start of World War I. What began as a single act of violence, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, set off a chain reaction that led to the deaths of millions and fundamentally changed the course of history. Similarly, smaller conflicts today, if allowed to escalate, could spiral into global consequences, especially in an era where technology and weapons have the potential to cause mass destruction like never before. In fact, the very nature of modern warfare has shifted dramatically. The weapons of mass destruction, once reserved for the realm of science fiction, have become a horrifying reality. Nuclear arms, biological warfare, and chemical weapons are now readily accessible to several nations, some of whom may be willing to use them under extreme circumstances. As Baba Vanga warned, the consequences of such weapons are unimaginable. With the power to wipe out entire populations in an instant, the threat of nuclear war, especially in light of rising tensions between major global powers, remains one of the most significant risks we face today. But despite the gloom and doom of her predictions, Baba Vanga's message is not solely one of despair. Alongside the dark visions of destruction, her words also emphasize the importance of resilience. Throughout history, humanity has faced near-extinction events but has always managed to rebuild, recover, and move forward. From the aftermath of world wars to the ongoing challenges posed by pandemics and natural disasters, human societies have continuously shown an incredible capacity to adapt and survive. The resilience of the human spirit is a powerful force that has carried us through some of the darkest periods in history. In reflecting on Baba Vanga's prediction, it's important to remember that while the threat of conflict and disaster is very real, so too is our ability to overcome adversity. It is not inevitable that humanity will succumb to the extinction-level events she predicted. In fact, we have the power to prevent such a fate by fostering peace, cooperation, and understanding across borders. By learning from history, strengthening our diplomatic ties, and actively working towards global stability, we can ensure that the future is not defined by destruction, but by the perseverance and ingenuity that have always characterized humanity's greatest triumphs. So, as we look ahead to 2025 and beyond, it is essential to acknowledge the warnings of the past, while also embracing the hope and strength that has carried humanity through countless challenges. The path forward may not always be easy, but it is within our collective power to shape a future where extinction-level events remain relegated to the realm of prophecy, rather than becoming a tragic reality. The question is not whether disaster will strike, but how we choose to respond when it does. Nostradamus, renowned for his cryptic prophecies, predicted a devastating plague in 2025, describing a disease that would spread rapidly across continents with no immediate cure. His prophecy resonates with recent global health crises, most notably the COVID-19 pandemic, which exposed humanity's vulnerability to infectious diseases. As we move toward 2025, the prospect of another pandemic remains unsettlingly possible. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a stark reminder of how quickly a new pathogen can disrupt the world. Countries shut down, millions were infected, and countless lives were lost. The global response was unprecedented. Yet the pandemic highlighted significant vulnerabilities in healthcare systems and preparedness. Nostradamus' prediction may not come true, but the threat of emerging diseases continues to be very real. The interconnectedness of today's world means that diseases can spread faster than ever, making it essential to remain vigilant and prepared. While there's no certainty about Nostradamus' plague, we must consider the real possibility of future pandemics. The rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, combined with new zoonotic diseases, adds to the growing concerns of future outbreaks. Scientists have long warned that new diseases are an ongoing risk, and the global experience with COVID-19 has reinforced these warnings. However, just as the world struggled through past pandemics, humanity's response to such threats has evolved over time. The Black Death of the 14th century, one of history's deadliest pandemics, killed millions, but it also proved humanity's ability to recover. Societies were rebuilt, economies were restored, and healthcare infrastructure improved. Similarly, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a small town in Italy, Vo, became an example of how quick, decisive action can prevent the spread of a virus. By implementing strict testing and isolation, Vo was able to contain the virus early, reducing infection rates significantly. While this was an extraordinary example, it shows that preparedness and swift action are key to managing future health threats. Moreover, medical advancements have made great strides since the days of the Black Death. The rapid development and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines demonstrated how far medical science has come. What would have taken years or decades in the past now happens within months, thanks to technological advancements. This progress could be crucial in the event of another pandemic. The ability to quickly identify, treat, and contain new diseases is one of humanity's strongest defenses. However, the unpredictability of pandemics remains. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us that even with scientific advancements, health crises can still have profound social, economic, and psychological impacts. A mysterious new plague, with no known cure, could trigger widespread panic and further destabilize societies. The threat is not just the disease itself, but also the chaos that may ensue if the world is unprepared. What Nostradamus' prediction teaches us is the importance of resilience. While we cannot predict the exact nature of future pandemics, we can prepare by strengthening our healthcare systems and improving our global response mechanisms. The lessons learned from COVID-19, especially about the importance of timely action, can be invaluable in managing future outbreaks. Governments, scientists, and healthcare workers must continue to invest in pandemic preparedness and innovation to ensure the world is ready for any new threat. In conclusion, Nostradamus' prophecy of a plague serves as both a warning and a reminder. It reminds us of the unpredictability of the future and the ongoing risks posed by emerging diseases. but it also calls for preparedness and unity in the face of potential challenges. Just as history has shown, humanity's ability to adapt and recover in the face of crises will be our greatest strength. Although Nostradamus' prediction remains uncertain, our response to future health crises will shape not only our survival but also our capacity to thrive in an ever-changing world. One of Baba Vanga's most captivating prophecies for 2025 involves the revelation of extraterrestrial life. She predicted that beings from other planets would make their presence known in a way that would leave no room for doubt. This startling forecast raises profound questions. Could alien life really be revealed in 2025? And how would humanity respond? The idea of life beyond Earth has intrigued humans for centuries. Ancient myths, science fiction, and modern scientific research all explore the possibility of extraterrestrial existence. Though contact with aliens remains speculative, recent scientific advancements have fueled hope that we may not be alone. In particular, the discovery of exoplanets in the habitable zone suggests that other planets could potentially harbor life. One landmark moment in the search for extraterrestrial life came in 1996, when scientists discovered possible signs of microbial life in a Martian meteorite. While the evidence was later debated, it sparked widespread interest in the search for alien life. Although no definitive proof has yet emerged, the possibility continues to captivate scientists and the public alike. In recent years, the phenomenon of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, has also gained more attention. Military personnel have reported encounters with unexplained aerial objects, and governments, particularly in the United States, have declassified numerous videos and reports on these phenomena. While the existence of aliens has not been confirmed, these mysterious occurrences have led some to believe that contact may be closer than we think. But how would humanity react if extraterrestrial life were suddenly revealed? The impact on our understanding of the universe would be profound. For centuries, humans have viewed ourselves as the pinnacle of life on Earth. The revelation that intelligent beings exist elsewhere would challenge this notion, forcing us to reconsider our place in the cosmos. It could lead to a fundamental shift in science, philosophy, and even religion. Culturally, the discovery of alien life would spark a wide range of reactions. Some may embrace the idea, seeing it as an opportunity for scientific advancement and interstellar cooperation. Others, however, might fear the unknown, leading to potential conflict and mistrust. How humanity handles such a revelation would depend on our willingness to adapt and unite in the face of this new reality. Technologically, the discovery of alien life could revolutionize our world. An advanced alien civilization would likely possess technology far beyond our own, offering opportunities for significant breakthroughs in areas like space exploration, energy production, and medicine. However, bridging the gap between our current technology and that of extraterrestrial beings would require humility and cooperation. It's also worth considering whether Baba Vanga's prophecy refers to life forms that have evolved on Earth rather than from distant planets. With advancements in artificial intelligence and biotechnology, the line between human and non-human intelligence is becoming increasingly blurred. Could the aliens she spoke of be advanced technologies or life forms that challenge our understanding of life itself? Whether Baba Vanga's prediction comes true or not, the search for extraterrestrial life continues to inspire humanity. It reminds us that the universe is vast and full of possibilities, and one day we may find answers to some of humanity's oldest questions. Baba Vanga's predictions also highlight the potential for leadership crises, with one of her most alarming prophecies pointing to the betrayal of Russian President Vladimir Putin by those within his inner circle. According to her, this betrayal could mark a pivotal moment in global politics, with significant consequences. Whether this prophecy is an inevitable future event or simply speculative, it serves as a reminder of how fragile political power can be, and how leadership can shift in unexpected and often catastrophic ways. Throughout history, we've witnessed numerous instances where leaders faced betrayal from within their ranks, often resulting in political upheaval. One of the most famous examples is the assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BCE, a betrayal carried out by those closest to him, including his trusted confidant Brutus. This act of treachery did not only mark the end of Caesar's rule, but also plunged the Roman Empire into civil war, leading to the eventual rise of Augustus as the first emperor. The notion that betrayal can completely alter the course of history is a powerful reminder of how internal power struggles can change the world. In modern times, political betrayals have been no less dramatic. From coups in Latin America to the fall of regimes in Eastern Europe, history has shown that leaders are vulnerable to internal dissent, which can escalate into wider conflicts and crises. The downfall of political figures often begins with the erosion of trust within their closest circle. Once allies become adversaries, everything can quickly unravel. Baba Vanga's prediction about Putin and the potential internal betrayal draws attention to the delicate balance of power that exists in every nation. A leader's authority is often tested not only by external threats, but also by internal fractures. A lack of unity among a leader's inner circle can result in political instability, which, in today's interconnected world, has the potential to trigger broader conflicts. If such a scenario were to unfold, it could reshape global alliances, trigger economic turmoil, and even destabilize entire regions. However, it's also important to recognize that crises can reveal the true strength of a leader's character. While betrayal can weaken a leader's grip on power, it also provides an opportunity for new leaders to emerge. During moments of crisis, effective leadership is not necessarily defined by how well one navigates political betrayals, but by how one responds to the crisis and steers the nation towards stability and progress. A true leader in a crisis is one who inspires hope, fosters unity, and acts in the best interest of the people, even in the face of adversity. In times of political turmoil, the public's role in holding leaders accountable becomes crucial. Leadership crises offer a chance for societies to reflect on the qualities they value in their leaders and demand more from those in power. A crisis can spark a reassessment of leadership itself, emphasizing the need for integrity, transparency, and ethical behavior. If political betrayal leads to a vacuum of power or destabilization, it can also create an opening for positive change, where new, more accountable leaders rise to the occasion. Ultimately, Baba Vanga's prophecy serves as a cautionary tale about the unpredictability of leadership and the importance of unity, trust, and accountability in politics. As we look toward the future, it is essential to reflect on the lessons of history, how crises have shaped the world, and how the leadership we choose today will determine the course of tomorrow. Whether in the context of political betrayal, internal conflict, or global challenges, leadership in crisis is about responding with strength, vision, and a deep commitment to the greater good. Baba Vanga's prophecy of biological warfare highlights a frightening possibility: the deliberate use of biological weapons by a nation, causing widespread devastation. Biological weapons, which include harmful microorganisms or toxins, can spread rapidly and cause severe illness or death. While this may seem like something out of a dystopian novel, advances in biotechnology and global interconnectedness make it an ever-present concern. Biological agents can silently infiltrate populations, making it difficult to detect and control outbreaks. Once released, these pathogens can spread unchecked, overwhelming healthcare systems and causing mass panic. The COVID-19 pandemic, although not biologically engineered, demonstrated how quickly a virus could become a global crisis, showing how vulnerable we are to infectious diseases. If such an event were intentional, it could have catastrophic effects on society. The use of biological weapons also raises significant ethical concerns. These acts violate human rights and international law, as they target civilians and cause unnecessary suffering. The fear of such attacks goes beyond health risks. It undermines trust between nations and destabilizes global peace. Furthermore, the threat of retaliation, whether through chemical or nuclear means, could escalate conflicts even further, making the consequences of biological warfare more devastating. The 2001 anthrax attacks in the U.S. demonstrated the real-world risks of biological terrorism. Although not a large-scale attack, it raised awareness about the ease with which these weapons could be deployed. As biotechnology advances, the potential for both state and non-state actors to develop biological weapons grows. increasing the risk of a catastrophic event. However, humanity has shown resilience in responding to biological threats. Global efforts, like the response to the Ebola outbreak and the rapid development of COVID-19 vaccines, highlight the importance of international cooperation and medical innovation in preventing and managing biological crises. Baba Vanga's warning serves as a reminder to strengthen defenses against biological warfare, promoting global collaboration and ethical responsibility. As the threat continues to evolve, it is crucial to remain vigilant and prepared to protect humanity from such dire possibilities. In his writings, Nostradamus referred to a red adversary, which many scholars have interpreted as a potential threat to global peace, often associating it with Russia due to its historical ties to the Soviet Union and the Red Flag. However, as global dynamics shift, the question arises, could this red adversary also be China, a rising power frequently symbolized by the color red? As we approach 2025, these two nations, Russia and China, stand out as significant geopolitical players, and their evolving roles in global affairs may hint at the relevance of this prophecy. Russia, under the leadership of Vladimir Putin, has been involved in several contentious geopolitical events in recent years. The annexation of Crimea in 2014, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, and its complex relationships with NATO and the West have placed Russia at the center of global tensions. The so-called red adversary might be a reference to Russia's past and present assertiveness on the world stage, challenging Western powers and positioning itself as a key player in global security matters. The conflict with Ukraine, in particular, has raised concerns about the potential for broader conflict in Europe, especially as both Russia and NATO continue to bolster their military presence in the region. If Russia's aggressive foreign policies are not addressed, the possibility of an escalation into a larger conflict remains a real threat. However, China, with its rapidly growing economic, technological, and military influence, presents a different kind of challenge. While Russia focuses on territorial and military assertiveness, China's strategy revolves around economic power, technological dominance, and a strong military presence, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. China's Belt and Road Initiative, which involves large-scale infrastructure investments across multiple continents, and its increasing military presence in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait, have raised alarm in the West. The rise of China as a global superpower has sparked tensions, particularly with the United States, which sees China's growth as a direct challenge to its own hegemony. Could Nostradamus's red adversary refer to the shifting balance of power in favor of China? The growing tensions between the United States and China over trade, technology, and military influence highlight the potential for this red adversary to shift the global order. As China continues to expand its influence, particularly through technological advancements such as 5G networks and artificial intelligence, it has increasingly come into direct conflict with Western powers, particularly the U.S. The competition for dominance in emerging technologies, trade disputes, and territorial claims have created a tense atmosphere between the two nations. This geopolitical rivalry has the potential to trigger a broader conflict if not carefully managed. As China's economic and military reach extends beyond its borders, the world must contend with a new kind of red adversary, one that operates not only through military might but also economic leverage, technology, and diplomacy. With the U.S. and China as global economic powerhouses, the outcome of this rivalry could redefine the future of global governance, trade, and security. The red adversary prophecy could serve as a warning of an impending global shift in power, one that may involve either Russia, China, or even both acting as formidable players on the world stage. Whether this prophecy indicates a physical conflict, an economic struggle, or an ideological battle, it's clear that the next few years will be pivotal in shaping global relations. As tensions rise and the stakes grow higher, the need for diplomatic dialogue, mutual understanding, and cooperation has never been more urgent. Only time will tell whether Nostradamus's prediction holds true and how the world will respond to these emerging threats. Nostradamus's predictions about economic struggles in 2025 hint at the possibility of a massive global upheaval, perhaps even the collapse of a giant. Given the context of his time, it's easy to see why many believe this could refer to a global economic power like the United States, or another major nation whose downfall could have widespread implications. As we move toward 2025, economic uncertainty looms large, with factors like inflation, growing debt, supply chain disruptions, and the threat of a global recession intensifying. Nostradamus's foresight may not just be about the economic collapse of a specific nation, but rather the instability that affects the global economy as a whole. Global economies are intricately connected, and what happens in one part of the world can ripple across the globe. In recent years, we've seen significant economic turmoil, whether through the pandemic-induced downturn or the financial crises tied to inflation and trade tensions. As the pandemic showed, economic shocks can quickly move from one sector to another, triggering a chain reaction that often leads to mass unemployment, social unrest, and challenges in securing basic needs for large segments of the population. The key to navigating these difficult times, as Nostradamus may have hinted, is resilience, the ability of communities, countries, and individuals to adapt, rebuild, and recover from adversity. In the face of economic upheaval, history has shown us that societies that focus on social resilience often fare better in the long run. The resilience of a society isn't just about bouncing back from an economic setback, but also about building systems that are robust enough to withstand future shocks. Take Iceland, for instance. During the 2008 global financial crisis, the country faced one of the most severe economic collapses in its history. However, Iceland responded in a way that set it apart from many other nations. Instead of resorting to massive bailouts for its banks, Iceland prosecuted bankers who were seen as responsible for the financial meltdown. They pursued accountability and reform in a way that prioritized the well-being of the population over corporate interests. This created a foundation for economic recovery that was sustainable and led to one of the swiftest recoveries among nations hit by the crisis. The key lesson here is the importance of ethical leadership and social cohesion during times of economic crisis. Social resilience also plays a major role. Communities that can come together in solidarity, with a focus on sharing resources and helping each other, are more likely to overcome financial hardships. The role of social safety nets, such as universal health care, unemployment benefits, and access to education, cannot be overstated. Societies that invest in these areas are better prepared for the economic challenges that lie ahead, as they can provide a buffer for those who are most vulnerable during times of upheaval. Another example of resilience in action comes from the cooperative economy model, which has grown in popularity in recent years. Cooperatives, businesses owned and run by the workers or members, have shown that communities can thrive without relying solely on traditional capitalist models. These organizations emphasize the collective good, and their success suggests that alternative economic structures may offer some of the answers to the economic problems we face today. In addition, the role of innovation in fostering economic resilience is crucial. The rapid development of new technologies, including renewable energy, digital currencies, and automation, has the potential to reshape economies and provide new opportunities for growth. Nations that prioritize innovation, education, and technology will be better equipped to handle the disruptions caused by economic crises and will be able to lead in an increasingly competitive world. While Nostradamus's prediction of economic collapse might seem grim, it serves as a stark reminder that societies must adapt in the face of change. If we are to avoid the worst-case scenario of a global economic collapse, we must prioritize social resilience, ethical leadership, and innovation. Preparing for an uncertain future requires looking at past lessons and taking proactive steps toward building systems that are sustainable, inclusive, and capable of weathering the storms that are sure to come. Ultimately, social resilience will be key to surviving and even thriving in the face of economic upheaval. Nostradamus's writings also allude to increasing natural disasters, warning of a world where extreme weather events could become more frequent and destructive. In 2025, He predicted rising food prices leading to societal unrest, a direct consequence of natural disasters that could wreak havoc on global agriculture. With climate change already intensifying the frequency and severity of storms, floods, wildfires, and droughts, these predictions feel unsettlingly accurate. Over the past few decades, we have witnessed an alarming increase in extreme weather events across the globe. Hurricanes, wildfires, floods, and heat waves seem to grow more intense with each passing year, causing not only environmental destruction but also economic damage and loss of life. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, has warned that the effects of climate change could worsen if urgent action is not taken to curb greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to the changes already underway. From rising sea levels to more frequent extreme weather events, the signs are everywhere, and they align closely with Nostradamus's warnings. One of the most pressing issues connected to natural disasters is the threat they pose to food security. Climate change has already started to affect agricultural productivity, with rising temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and more frequent droughts impacting crop yields around the world. In regions that are already vulnerable, such as parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, these challenges are exacerbating hunger and poverty. The 2020s have seen major disruptions in global food supply chains due to weather events like floods in Asia and droughts in Europe, which have driven up food prices and put millions at risk of food insecurity. As these trends continue, the world faces the very real possibility of a global food crisis. Moreover, natural disasters also contribute to the displacement of people, leading to the rise of climate refugees. Areas that are prone to extreme weather events or rising sea levels, such as low-lying island nations and coastal cities, are facing the possibility of being uninhabitable in the future. This creates a domino effect of migration, where large populations may be forced to leave their homes in search of safer, more stable environments. Such mass migrations could cause political, social, and economic challenges as nations struggle to accommodate growing refugee populations. The displacement of people also places additional strain on the already limited resources in many regions, leading to potential conflicts over access to food, water, and shelter. In light of these challenges, it's important to focus on solutions and how society can mitigate the impact of natural disasters. Nations around the world are taking action in various ways, from investing in renewable energy to adopting climate adaptation strategies. The Netherlands, for example, has long been a leader in flood management, with innovative techniques like the creation of artificial islands and water-sustainable architecture. The country's proactive approach to rising sea levels and heavy rainfall has allowed it to adapt to changing conditions while minimizing the risks posed by flooding. Such measures demonstrate the importance of forward-thinking and proactive strategies in reducing the effects of climate change. One of the most promising solutions is the global push toward renewable energy. By transitioning from fossil fuels to clean, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower, nations can reduce their carbon emissions and help mitigate the effects of climate change. Countries like Denmark and Sweden are already leading the charge in renewable energy adoption, demonstrating that it is not only feasible but also economically beneficial. Investment in green technologies, such as electric vehicles, energy-efficient buildings, and carbon capture and storage, can significantly reduce the carbon footprint of industries and communities worldwide. Furthermore, community-driven initiatives are also essential in combating climate change and building resilience against natural disasters. In regions where governments may struggle to provide adequate support, local communities have shown immense creativity and resourcefulness in adapting to the changing environment. For instance, small-scale agricultural innovations such as drought-resistant crops and sustainable farming practices have helped local farmers in Africa and Asia to thrive despite adverse weather conditions. Additionally, grassroots efforts in disaster preparedness, such as creating local warning systems and emergency response networks, have saved countless lives in disaster-prone areas. While the threat of natural disasters and climate change is undeniable, it is clear that humanity has the potential to face these challenges head-on. By prioritizing sustainable development, investing in climate adaptation, and fostering international cooperation, we can mitigate the worst impacts of climate change and create a future that is resilient and adaptable. The ongoing push for action and innovation in the fight against climate change will determine how well we are able to respond to the growing threats of natural disasters and the challenges they bring to food security, migration, and the global economy. Nostradamus's predictions also included a mysterious reference to celestial fires and a dimming of Mars's light, which some believe could be connected to humanity's efforts to colonize the Red Planet. While these cryptic words have sparked much debate, one thing is clear: the idea of reaching Mars has become more tangible than ever. With advancements in space exploration technology and the ambitions of companies like SpaceX, humanity's dream of setting foot on Mars is no longer a distant fantasy, but a possible reality. As we look toward the future, questions about why we are so drawn to Mars and what the potential consequences of our journey to the Red Planet may be arise. In recent years, Mars exploration has become a focal point for space agencies and private companies alike. NASA's Perseverance rover, launched in 2020, has already begun its mission to explore the Martian surface, searching for signs of ancient life and gathering data to support future human missions. Alongside NASA, SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, has been working toward its goal of establishing a sustainable human presence on Mars by the mid-2020s. Musk's vision of a self-sustaining colony on Mars is driven by the belief that humanity must become a multiplanetary species to ensure its long-term survival. The allure of Mars is not just about exploring a new frontier. It is also driven by the notion of preserving humanity's future. Earth faces a number of existential threats, from climate change to nuclear conflict to the potential of a global pandemic. By establishing a human presence on Mars, proponents argue that humanity could safeguard itself against these risks and create a backup civilization, reducing the likelihood that a single catastrophic event could wipe out the human race. Mars offers a fresh start, a place where humanity could begin anew and potentially learn from the mistakes made on Earth. However, while the idea of colonizing Mars is undeniably exciting, it also raises many difficult questions and ethical considerations. One of the biggest challenges of living on Mars is the planet's inhospitable environment. Mars has a thin atmosphere, extreme temperatures, and high levels of radiation, all of which make it an incredibly challenging place for humans to survive without significant technological support. Spacecraft and habitats would need to be built to withstand these harsh conditions, and resources would need to be imported or extracted from the Martian surface to sustain life. The technological and logistical challenges of colonizing Mars are immense, and it is likely that it will take decades, if not longer, before we are able to establish a permanent, self-sustaining colony. Another consideration is the potential impact that humanity's presence on Mars might have on the planet itself. As we continue to explore and potentially colonize Mars, we must ask ourselves what effect this will have on any existing Martian ecosystems, if they exist at all. While there is currently no definitive evidence of life on Mars, the possibility of microbial life beneath the surface remains a topic of significant interest. Could our exploration efforts unintentionally destroy or contaminate these potential life forms? There is an ethical obligation to ensure that our exploration of Mars is conducted with the utmost care and respect for the planet's environment. The question of whether Mars is truly a viable backup for humanity's future is also a matter of ongoing debate. While it may offer certain advantages, such as reducing the risk of extinction caused by Earth-based disasters, the challenges of living on Mars are not trivial. Unlike Earth, Mars lacks a breathable atmosphere and a magnetosphere to protect against harmful solar radiation. The planet's gravity is only about 38% of Earth's, which could have long-term effects on human health. Additionally, resources such as water and food would need to be carefully managed or imported, making life on Mars highly dependent on technology. Nonetheless, the idea of a human presence on Mars represents something much larger: humanity's enduring desire to explore, to push the boundaries of what is possible, and to seek out new horizons. It reflects our innate curiosity and our belief that, if we put our minds to it, There is no frontier too distant or too daunting to conquer. The pursuit of Mars exploration exemplifies human ingenuity and the ability to rise above seemingly insurmountable challenges. It reminds us that, despite the many obstacles we face here on Earth, we are capable of achieving incredible feats when we dare to dream. As we look toward the future, Mars may not only be a symbol of technological and scientific achievement, but also a reminder of our collective potential. The journey to Mars will likely be long and arduous, filled with both triumphs and setbacks. Yet, in many ways, it will be a journey of self-discovery, one that will not only teach us about the red planet, but also about ourselves. As humanity continues to reach for the stars, the quest for Mars may ultimately be less about escaping the problems of Earth and more about advancing our understanding of the universe and our place within it. As we draw to a close, it's clear that the prophecies of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, while unsettling, serve not only as warnings, but as invitations to reflect on our present and future. These predictions, whether related to global conflicts, health crises, or extraordinary breakthroughs in science, prompt us to think critically about the path humanity is on and the challenges we face. From the possibility of an extinction-level event to the exploration of Mars, the future remains full of uncertainty, but also remarkable opportunities. The common thread throughout these prophecies is the resilience and adaptability of humanity. Despite the dire forecasts, be it wars, diseases, or the potential destruction of our world, history has shown us time and again that humanity possesses the ability to endure and rebuild. The tragedies and challenges of the past have not only shaped us, but have also been the driving force behind our progress. Whether it's the recovery from global conflicts, the overcoming of pandemics, or the technological innovations that have defined the modern age, humanity's capacity for resilience is truly extraordinary. As we approach 2025, it's essential to approach these predictions with caution and curiosity. While we cannot predict the future with certainty, we can take proactive steps to influence it. By acknowledging the lessons of the past and focusing on collective action, we can work towards a future that is not defined by fear, but by hope and determination. It's not enough to merely react to the challenges ahead. We must be prepared to shape the future actively. One of the most powerful ways we can contribute to a positive future is through ethical leadership. The importance of integrity in leadership, whether in government, business, or our communities, cannot be overstated. In times of crisis, leaders who are driven by a sense of responsibility and compassion can make all the difference. It is up to us as individuals to demand transparency and accountability from those in power and to hold them to the highest standards. We must remember that leadership is not just about decision-making. It's about inspiring others to work towards a shared vision for a better world. Furthermore, we must prioritize innovation and education. The future, especially one where we face economic challenges and environmental crises, will demand creative solutions and a commitment to progress. Whether it's harnessing renewable energy, improving healthcare systems, or investing in space exploration, we need to encourage innovation in all sectors. The future will not wait for us to catch up. We must be proactive in embracing the technologies and ideas that will shape the next generation. Finally, we must recognize the power of collective action. Whether it's addressing climate change, ensuring access to healthcare, or preparing for potential crises, no single individual or nation can face these challenges alone. When we come together, when we unite for a common cause, we can accomplish incredible feats. The collective power of humanity is immeasurable, and it's through collaboration and mutual support that we can overcome the obstacles before us. In conclusion, the prophecies of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga challenge us to reflect on the potential risks and opportunities that lie ahead. But more importantly, they remind us that the future is not set in stone. It is ours to shape. The choices we make today, the actions we take, and the values we uphold will determine the world we leave behind for future generations. As we move into 2025 and beyond, let's commit to a future defined by resilience, innovation, and compassion. Let's not wait for the future to happen to us. Let's make it happen together. Thank you for staying with us throughout this exploration of the future. If you found these ideas thought-provoking, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. Together, we can shape a future that we can all be proud of.